Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. We're going to be doing the daily reading for Monday, November 2nd, 2020. And today is the day that's ruled by the root chakra and guided by death. Today is a galactic activation portal. And so we want to be aware of this. We want to be taking care of ourselves as we always do, but really stepping up that self-care on days like this. This is also a day where we can get a lot of benefits out of meditation. And so that is highly recommended as well. The galactic signature of today is the white planetary mirror energy. And so the white mirror energy is all about perspective, right? It's all about reflection, endlessness, and order. And the understanding that everything is a reflection, right? Everything is a mirror. And so really looking at our own belief systems, our own perspectives, and how those are creating our own reality. This is really interesting that this energy is coming up today after yesterday. Anyone who did catch the controversial video that I did post, we'll know that we'll appreciate how interesting it is that this is now the energy that we're in today, which is that energy of understanding, right? That we live in a quantum reality, and the field is becoming more quantum every single day, right? And so in this quantum reality, there are multiple truths and there are multiple perspectives, and every perspective creates a reality, creates a truth. Right? And therefore, there is not just one truth. There are many, many different truths. And just understand this. So this energy is all about understanding and respecting everybody's truth, while at the same time taking responsibility for our own truth and for the discovery of what that is, and taking responsibility for this process of really looking at what is being mirrored to us, right? And what that is telling us about our beliefs and our perceptions, and taking ownership over the fact that if we want to change our truth, which is then reflected in our reality, we have to change those perspectives and those belief systems. We have to polish our mirror, right? So that we're seeing through it more and more clearly every day. And so that's the energy that we are being guided to step into today, is that energy of polishing that internal mirror, that energy of respecting everybody's truth as valid, but also understanding that we get to create our own truth. Right? And this is important right now more than ever, okay? Because the truth in our own hearts, our own truth that we have come to through our own deliberation, through our own inner guidance, right? Our own inner guidance system is the reality that is being reflected in the timeline that we are moving into. And as more and more of us embrace a truth that is more in alignment with where we are trying to go, we help to shift the collective truth and the collective consciousness. And we are constantly shifting ourselves in and out of timelines, right? And some of these timelines that we are shifting ourselves out of are very, very dark. And so as we embrace our own truth, right? The truth that truly resonates with our souls, as we clean that mirror of our minds so that a purer and purer truth, right? A truth with less distortion is reflected back to us. The truth of the love and the joy that is in our hearts. We are doing incredibly powerful work to shift humanity and the collective timelines of humanity. And so it is just, this work is so paramount and so important. And one of the key aspects of this, right, is that while we are connecting with our own inner truth, we are respecting other people's truths, and we're not descending into debates over that and pulling ourselves into that lower frequency energy, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to allow ourselves to get pulled into somebody else's truth. When we hear something and we resonate with that, right, our energy is aligning with that. And if we spend too much time putting our attention on a truth that is not our own, our energy gets sucked into that and becomes aligned with that. And that slowly starts to become our truth. So we want to be really careful of this. This does not mean that we do not become open to all truth and all perspective, right? As I said the other day, the more perspectives we are able to hold, the more information and therefore the more light, right? So we want to be able to hold those perspectives, but we don't want to attach to them unless it feels good to us, unless it resonates with us, unless it's a truth that we are wanting to bring into our field, into our reality, into our experience, right? And so we want to, like, emotion, heavily charged emotion is what attracts. That's that sticky energy that attracts things to us. And so we want to be careful when we're experiencing that heavily charged emotion. And, like, what is the reality? What is the perspective? What is the truth, right, that my energy is being pulled towards now? And is that what I want to manifest as my experience of reality going forward? There are so many. I was sitting and I was meditating last night on December 21st and the energies of that day, as well as the final Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, right? And there are so many possibilities and so many different timelines as we move deeper and deeper into this quantum field, right? That it's really difficult to even get information on what's going to happen because there are so many different possibilities. And so it was a really interesting process for me last night, trying to get information and guidance for you guys. But there will be videos on that stuff coming out, I promise. This next couple weeks are supercharged, right? We are in that 11-day countdown that started yesterday toward the 11/11 portal. Immediately following, right, this is all in linear time, right, following, all of these events kind of coalesce into one, was what I was feeling last night. But on the 12th then, we have Mars stationing, or no, we don't have Mars stationing direct. Oh my God, what do we have going on the 12th? On the 12th, we have the conjunction of the final conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto. Then on the 13th, we have Mars stationing direct. And on the 14th, we have Mars going direct on the day of the new moon in Scorpio. Okay, so this is a lot of really intense energy. We're in this huge buildup period right now. And one thing that I do know, regardless of what else happens, is that we are building up to that major activation and shift in consciousness that is happening on the 21st. What else comes of that is very up in the air right now. And so I'm beginning to sort of kind of fine tune where spirit is wanting me to go with that before I put out that information, right? But that is the major activation that we are working towards right now. And so we are in this process of remembering this entire 2 weeks. And I think that that's why this is all coming up right now, right? Is so much about us fine tuning our own perspective, our own truth, right? Because the truth that's in our hearts is going to be magnified as these big dick kind of energies, right? Present themselves with the Saturn and Pluto conjunction, with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction on the 21st, right? Like, as we are moving into these energies, so much of what is within us is going to be radiated outward at an even more tremendous level. And so this is our chance to really sort through all of that, right? To really get to the heart and the truth, our own heart and our own truth, the truth of our own hearts. That is what we're being asked to do. That is what we're working for. The truth of our own hearts, which shows us the truth of who we are. That's what more and more people are coming into that understanding right now, of the truth of who we are. 11/11, I remember who I am, right? All right, so yeah, I'm getting a little pumped up. This energy is so incredible. And there's so much going on right now, and so much is being revealed, and so much is going to continue to be revealed, right? And there is a lot of darkness being revealed too. I felt called to talk about some of that darkness the other day. I don't like to give it too much attention because I don't like to give it too much power, right? I don't want to resonate with that energy and bring that into my own personal truth and reality. It is a truth. It is a timeline. It is a possibility, but it is not the only truth. It is not the only timeline. It is not the only possibility. And it becomes less and less of a possibility every day as we move more into the light. But we have to acknowledge the dark to move into the light. We are transmuting that darkness, right? But in order to transmute something, first it has to be seen. And so we are going to see more of that. That is being revealed on the outside, right? And it's being revealed on the inside too. Our inner darkness is being revealed so that it can be transmuted. And we are going to be continuing to see this process, right? And so all we can do is love ourselves fiercely and compassionately during this. Love each other, right? Fiercely and compassionately during this process. Because I am you and you are me, right? So the affirmation for today is, I perfect in order to reflect, producing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of death. And so, yes, this is a really beautiful energy. We have the planetary tone, which I didn't even get into because I was just off there, which is all about perfecting our manifestations, right? It's about perfecting them, understanding that everything is inherently perfect because it exists, but we can still continue to fine tune that and perfect that while not becoming overly perfectionistic, right? We can respect and embrace the perfection of all of creation while at the same time striving to make it better, right? And so this energy can be applied today to our thoughts, to our belief systems, to the reality, the perspective that we are creating as we perfect that, as we clean that lens, right? And the astrology of today is also pretty powerful. As it always is lately, we are warming up to all of that energy, right? So we have that going on. And then we also still have the sun opposing Uranus, which is still conjunct true black moon. We also have Juno moving into conjunction with the sun. All right, and so this is going to be, I'm feeling a major theme of relationships still, right? Our need to be free, our need to express ourselves as we truly are in relationship. Right, Juno is the asteroid that represents marriage and commitment and all of that. And so we're really seeing all of our belief systems around that, right? We're being asked to look at those. We're being asked to move beyond what is limiting in that construct, right? And this is something that we're being asked to do as a collective, all in general, right? And so this is really coming up with this combo. We still have Juno's at 14 degrees and the sun is at 10 degrees today. So it's a loose conjunction, but they're moving closer into conjunction, right? And so we are going to be feeling these energies. We're just feeling a lot of that with Uranus, with true black moon. We also have a T-square going on between Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, and Eris. And so Mercury's here, Eris is here, and Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter are in the middle as the focal point, right? And so this is that energy of Eris is the feminine warrior planet, the feminine, she's very closely linked to the energy of true black moon, Lilith, right? She's also the feminine counterpart to the Mars energy. And so with this dynamic conversation going on right now, we are really, with Mercury and Libra right now, it's once again bringing us back to that partnership, right? How do we feel free in partnership, right? Eris is that energy also of justice. I was actually just reading an article, which I thought was really interesting, talking about how this, at least this particular astrologer, had purported Eris as the true ruler of Libra, which is really fascinating. So it's a planet that, or a dwarf planet, right, that brings justice is some of the interpretations of this. But it's like feminine justice, that feminine form of empowerment and justice, right? Like the feminine warrior. What does the feminine warrior look like? And so our feminine warrior between true black moon and the Uranus energy and all of this is like really being activated and standing up in her power. And this is true for men, for masculine and feminine, right? Because we have both of those energies within us. So that aspect of our energy is being triggered and refined as the Mars retrograde continues to refine that masculine aspect of our warrior nature. As we step more deeply into that, as we see how we can, right? Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto are asking us to evolve our belief systems, to evolve when it comes to terms of empowerment, right? When it comes to terms of our faith, our ideals, our belief systems. I said belief systems twice because it's coming through heavy right now, right? All of that stuff. So where can we evolve in terms of partnership, in terms of balance, right? In terms of justice, true justice. What is truly just? So in situations in our lives right now, we may be confronted with issues where we have to decide what is true justice for all involved in this situation, right? And where have I been leaving myself out of that equation, where I need to add myself into that equation because I matter just as much as anybody else, right? And we are really wanting to fight injustice anywhere that we see it. Unfortunately, there is injustice everywhere right now. So we really have to pick our battles, and we really have to look from the higher perspective when we are picking those battles, right? We need to hold as much perspective as possible so we can hold as much information as possible, as much light as possible, as we are determining where to focus this warrior energy. And we see it going on all around us where people do not understand where to focus this energy. And so it's just coming out in all types of different ways. So we really need to hold our ground, to be strong, to be steady in our own truth, in our own knowing, in our own integrity as we navigate these situations. All right, clear. And I'm being called to use the Black Moon Astrology cards for the card reading this morning. And so we'll see what they have to say about the energies of today. All right. Okay, so first two cards out. We have the Sun, Spirit, and Virgo. I analyze. And so this is, when the Sun card comes out, to me, this card represents consciousness. Our consciousness and our spiritual journey, right? Our Sun is the embodiment of how we live this spiritual journey, right? How we navigate this journey in this lifetime. And so we're really thinking about that right now. We're putting on our Virgo hats, right? And we are analyzing some aspects of this when it comes to our consciousness, when it comes to our spirituality, just like we were talking about. This is belief systems. This is our perspective, our understanding. This is also the way that others see us and the way we shine our light in the world. And we're really paying attention to that. And we're noticing that. And we're also noticing that in others, right? We're noticing, I'm seeing just the ball of light there, right? We are noticing the light in others. Right? And we are being drawn to people more by resonance, by the light, by the spirit within them, than by any of the outer circumstances. And so we may feel ourselves being naturally drawn to people and repelled by people that maybe at one time we felt differently about. And this is because our consciousness is growing and expanding. And so this is just, it's interesting. I'm also noticing the spiral that we have in this picture, right? We've got the circle, we've got the spiral, we've got a lot of geometric shapes coming through there. But yeah, we are really, we're analyzing all these things. We're noticing these different things, right? We're being called to step out of the analysis a little bit and into the experience of it. However, we don't want to get stuck over analyzing. And this is the energy, the Virgo energy that we're talking about, right? When we talk about the tone of today, that tone that is about perfecting systems, right? This is, we are perfecting the spirit right now, is really what's going on. But we want to do this by already acknowledging the inherent perfection. Virgo energy can sometimes be overcritical because it sees everything. It sees every little flaw. It sees how everything can be made better. And there's a lot of pressure sometimes. So it's taking off that pressure and just analyzing from that more detached place, from that place of curiosity, right? And just seeing what we uncover as we dig deeper into this spiritual journey and all the different aspects of what it means for us. It's really interesting. I'm seeing there's a little human figure here, and then there's an angel figure. And so I don't know if that translates, how that translates the way I was seeing it. It's hard for me to see what that looks like on screen. But the way I have them, it looks like this angel is just staring down at this human who's like climbing toward this sun. And so I'm just feeling a lot of help, right? It's like us climbing toward our angelic nature, right? At our core, we are angelic beings. We were created by source. We are pure light. So us climbing to that, right? The ascension, right? Ascending that ladder toward that spirit, toward that truth, toward, like, this ball of energy can be seen as the pure source energy, towards our understanding of ourselves as that pure source energy, and all the support that we are receiving in that process. So we're really being called to reach out to our angels right now, to reach out to our team and our guides for assistance if we need it. If you need assistance, I offer personal readings. I offer incredibly powerful angelic heart healings. This modality is, it's angelic healing of the heart, but it heals on all levels of being. It works with all aspects of the body, of the spirit, of the mind, to bring us into alignment and to aid us in this ascension process. And so please reach out to me if you're interested in those things, right? But reach out to your angels, reach out to your guides. They are there wanting to assist you in this process. And then we have Grand Cross Provoker, right? So this is the energy we're talking about, that provoking energy, that energy that's really going to force us to look at things, that maybe we didn't want to see, right? This is the energy. This is like the Uranus energy. This is the Mars energy, the true black moon energy, right? When we have all of this, right? This provoking energy of Uranus and true black moon across the sky from the sun, right? And so this is showing up in a whole bunch of different ways. There are situations, right, that are going to provoke us to look at things that maybe we had been trying not to see, right? But we look at those things, we don't allow ourselves to get pulled into that energy like we were talking about, right? We don't have to resonate with it. We can view something. We can give it credibility, right? We can say, okay, this exists. I can acknowledge that, but we don't have to resonate with it. We don't have to identify with it, and we don't have to pull it into our reality, right? So that's what we're learning how to do right now. We're also learning what exists within us still that is ready to come out and be healed. And so that is being provoked as well. We are being brought face to face with our true belief systems, with our true perspectives, with anywhere where that is not for our highest benefit, right? These situations are coming to provoke that realization so that we can then examine it, right, Virgo? I analyze, and we can move more deeply into our spirit as we release that and transmute that into the light. All right. And Mercury retrograde on the bottom of the deck, reinvention. This is what we're doing. We are reinventing ourselves. And lunar eclipse change, right? So there are events that are provoking major change. This is change within, this is change without, right? We're going to continue to see major change in the physical world, right? As we are breaking down these old systems, as we are watching this crumble before our eyes, right? As we are breaking down, we break down the systems within as the systems without are broken down. It is one and the same, right? This energy is going on outside and inside. And so change is happening on multiple levels. And there are situations for some of us that are provoking change in ways that are a bit jarring, a bit unexpected, right? We got that Uranus energy going on right now, highly unpredictable, right? So it's just going with the flow of what's happening, right? And constantly bringing it back to ourselves. What am I creating, or what am I being asked to look at right now? What am I being asked to see, to give voice to bring light to, so that it can be transmuted and healed, right? These are the things that we are being asked to look at right now. And there is just so much incredible change. We just had that eclipse, or no, we are about to have an eclipse. Oh my God. So much is happening, you guys. We have, I believe, 2 more eclipses before this year is over as well. I'm sorry, it's a lot of intense astrological energy to be staying on top of. So much going on. I mean, you guys, you're going to get videos on all of it, so do not worry. But we have these eclipses approaching too. And they are bringing in, with all of these other planets, these heavy hitting planets, they are bringing in massive changes as well. They are provoking, right? So you can expect more of that energy. All we can do is buckle up our seatbelts for the ride, right? And let's pull a couple clear Moonology cards just to close this out. Any general guidance here from the Moonology deck as we navigate these intense energies? We are being provoked to analyze, to look through the mind's eye, but with the spirit, right? To unify the mind, right? This whole year of 2020, as we've had these Mercury retrogrades, right? That have taken us into these water signs, water into oftentimes air, right? Or solely in water. But either way, the balance of the logic and the intuition, utilizing both at the same time. We are being asked, as things are happening on the outside that are provoking us to look deeper, we are being asked to look deeper, right? To look deeper, to understand deeper, to look at the truth, to find the truth, to find that own personal truth, our own resonance, right? And we are being situations, whatever is provoking you, whatever you are being challenged to look at, if it is triggering you, look deeper. If you have the courage, look deeper. Ask your guides and your angels for assistance, for compassion, to be able to view the situation with compassion through that lens of oneness, right? Through that lens of love, and look deeper. Whatever is coming up for you right now, whatever is triggering you, that is being revealed to you so that you can heal it, right? And now is the time to do that so that you can step more fully into the truth of who you are, which is pure spirit, right? Which is pure light. And we have conclusions are within reach and balanced spirituality and practicality. So I'm feeling this right now too, this balanced spirituality and practicality as balancing, right? We're balancing our consciousness, right? We're being called to move back into that 3D consciousness. And we're also holding that 5D consciousness. We're holding the different perspectives right now, right? And so we are being asked to balance that. Do not sink too deeply into one consciousness. Balance it out with the other, right? And continually, we work through our fears, right? We work through our blocks. We work through whatever it is that's coming up so that we can move more fully into that 5D consciousness where we are operating, even if we are in a 3D reality, right? Physically, right now, we are operating from that 5D consciousness in that 3-dimensional reality, right? But it's that balance, it's that juggling act. It's when we feel, as we are going through this process, it is natural to be dragged back into that lower frequency, for lack of a better term, energy. But we balance it, we pull it back, we tap into that love consciousness, that higher consciousness, that higher perspective to bring ourselves back, right? And there are just conclusions to all kinds of situations coming up right now. Conclusions to so many different things. Anything that we've been struggling with, if there's something that you have been struggling deeply with, and I feel for a lot of people, it's this push and pull that we're talking about, right? It's this pain, it's what this trauma that's been coming up, right? We have the moon is in aspect to Chiron today as well. I believe it's sextiling Chiron, which is a positive alignment, right? But it's Chiron, right? So it's those wounds that we've been healing that have been coming up for a lot of people, I'm feeling. And it's feeling like it's never going to end. Like people have been plunged into that pain to feel that, to expose that so that they can transmute that. But a lot of us are feeling like it's not happening, right? Like we're just stuck in the pain. We're stuck in the darkness. Conclusions are within reach. You are moving out of that energy, whether you realize it or not. And you have a choice in every moment actually to move out of it quicker by acknowledging it, by bringing love to it and releasing it, right? By balancing spirituality and practicality, by bringing that spiritual into everything, right? Yeah, I'm just being drawn to the 2 fish right now. This is the Pisces energy, right? This is the full moon in Pisces. This is all about the duality as well, and healing and sort of bringing closure to that duality as we move out of a duality consciousness and into a oneness consciousness, right? And work through your fears. Yeah. And this card for me is also indicative now when I see it of that bringing the spiritual into every aspect of our lives, bringing that love into every aspect of our lives, right? Bringing that 5D consciousness, like we were talking to, into every aspect of our lives. That's how we balance that. We bring it in. We have things that we have responsibilities, right? Things that we must do as 3-dimensional beings in this planet, in this current reality, right? However, we can bring our spirituality into all of those aspects. We can bring love. We can make every act a spiritual act. Every act already is a spiritual act, right? Because we're spiritual beings. It can be nothing else. However, we can bring the knowledge that it is, right? And the reverence and the gratitude for that into every single moment, into every challenging situation, as well as every situation that we perceive as joyful, right? Work through your fears. Stop worrying. That's what this card represents. Nothing will come of this situation. Your fears are part of what is preventing these conclusions, from coming to fruition, right? It's these fears, it's being stuck in that energy, right? That sticky energy. Please reach out to me for an energy healing, which can really help moving through these energies, right? A lot of people are stuck in that mental space of their fear right now. And this is just understanding that, like, you don't have to worry about that. Nothing will come of that situation unless you continue to focus all of your energy on it. So stop doing that and believe in the impossible. Right? This is the blue moon card. We just had the blue moon, right? Believe in the impossible. All possibilities are possible, right? We talk about that. Just really sinking into that knowledge. Like, work through your fear. If there is something that you are, some conclusion that you are working towards, something that you have been struggling with, right? And you are afraid that whatever it is that you desire is not possible, or that a conclusion, that any type of harmonious, I don't want to say ending, but any type of harmonious agreement, I guess would be a word, is impossible. That any type of fortuitous outcome is impossible. That whatever it is that exists within your heart of hearts is impossible. And I feel for some of us, it's like this whole ascension process right now. And some of us are beginning to doubt everything because we are so inundated with that darkness. And we're being called to pull ourselves out of that, right? To always remember not to get too caught up in that and to pull it back to our spiritual practice. Do not forget. Do not neglect that spiritual side. Do not neglect the self-care. Do not neglect any of that right now. It is so important, more important than ever. So I feel for a lot of people, it's even just that process on its own that people are beginning to question. We're beginning to question everything, right? But we are being called to believe in the impossible. Whatever it is that you think is impossible is only impossible if you believe it to be so. When you change your perception, right? When you change your truth, the universe must organize to support that truth, all right? And then your hard work is paying off. Meditate and contemplate, right? All right. We are going to call it for today. I love you all. I appreciate you all so very, very, very much. Just hang in there, right? This process is so beautiful and magical if we allow it to be. Everything is what we make it, right? That is what we are understanding today with this white mirror energy, right? With this white planetary mirror energy. Everything is what we make it. So if we are displeased with what we are creating, we can create something else. But there are hard truths, there are realities about what we have created that must be faced sometimes first, okay? And that's okay. We face everything, every situation, every truth, right? With love, with compassion, with tolerance. And we are able to move through it and transmute it all. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really helps this channel, helps these videos to get out to more people. There are links below to donate to my channel if you feel so called to do so. My email is down below with the description of my services. Please reach out if you would like assistance at this time, right? We are all here together. We are in this together. We work together to move through this incredible process that is underway right now, right? You are doing so well. If nobody told you today, you are doing so well. You are so strong. And you, simply by existing right now in this reality, at this time, on this planet's history, like, you are accomplishing a great feat. So give yourself credit for that. All right. Drop a comment. Let me know how this resonated. You know, I love hearing from you guys. I appreciate you all of your love, all of your support, your abilities to hold multiple perspectives, to see things from those different angles, to hold all of this information, which is all of this light, right? I respect you all so much. I honor you all so much. And that is so absolutely beautiful. So I commend you for that. Keep doing that.